Here we are. The One Ring. It began on a day, much like any day, really. At least the sort of day you might find when the sun is warm on your skin, with a gentle breeze whistling in your ear, a message of hope and of good fortune. The buds of spring had fulfilled their promise and had given forth abundance and bloom, with a sweet scent on the air that reminds you of a blackberry pie cooling on the window ledge of the old Widow Took. But this day was not actually like all the other days of summer, for it was the eve of Lithe, the midsummer's day. And that meant it was time for the annual free fair. 4 days of celebration and merriment, feasting, the drinking of ale, and the smoking of pipeweed. The Shire was filled to the brim with excitement as folk busied themselves with preparation. Market stalls were being erected all along the streets of Meikle Delving. There seemed to be twice as many as there were the year before. Soon the fine wares of the Shire's best would be on offer. Children scurried about in their mini-games. There were too many hiding places to be explored. The construction of a bandstand was well underway in the square. As Mayor Otho looked on with bemusement from the balcony of the town hall. Yes, he thought, this would be a life to remember. And he looked out upon all the activity going forth. Now young Master Fulvis Brandybuck, not given so much to the tilling of earth, he moved about town, abuzz with all the excitement of seeing so many faces who he hadn't seen since last year. What stories and tales there would be to learn, for he was a collector of such fine wares. Indeed, there was work to do. His friend, Myrna Greenhill, was meant to meet him here, and he was looking for her. So Fulvis, you've made a rare appearance into the capital of the Shire. And Myrna always drags you along on adventures. And there's so much activity going on. What are you doing?
Well, I think I'll first look around and see if there's anyone non-hobbit around.
You don't see anyone like that at this time. It's quite busy, actually, and quite crowded.
All right, well, I guess I should go find Myrna then.
Yeah. And wandering about. And from behind you, you hear, "What took you so long?"
Um, Mjernide, I was looking for you just now. I couldn't
Well,
find you.
it's quite busy,
Th-
isn't it? I've been looking for a while for you as well.
Yeah, normally we'd take the uh, East Road here, but I guess I was just too excited. I ran here all by myself.
That's right. I've been busy myself, but I've come in with my father's wagon. We had some stuff to deliver for one of the booths going up. But I'm here now. How have you been? Haven't seen you in a while.
Oh well, things are the same. I always go make my way down to Bree, and then I come back, and my family always has something to say about it.
They never have accepted you. Accepted what you do. That's Myrna there. Have you heard anything interesting? What have your travels been like?
Oh well, th there is this one ranger in Bree I've spoken to a couple of times, and I haven't really gotten much out of. But I think I'm making a breakthrough on him.
Oh yeah? I bet he's got amazing stories to tell. Bilbo's been very strange lately. I don't know if you've talked to him, but I mean beyond normal. But he keeps
He,
talk. He keeps talking of these strange things happening beyond the borders of the Shire. It's very thoughtful, deep in thought these days. But that's our Bilbo, isn't it?
yeah, he's always been an odd fellow.
Have you heard about the dwarves passing through? Several weeks back. It
Oh,
was
of course I've.
it was the so quite important a king's son. There was a whole troop of them heading east. Looked very important. I didn't get to talk to them. I'm not sure if Bilbo did.
Yes, I heard of those dwarfs, but I guess I was busy in Bree at the time, so must have just missed them.
Yeah, I would have thought they would have come through Bray, but Bree's a busy place too, so I'm sure you could have missed them.
Yep. Well, I guess we should go give Bilbo a look, see what's up with him.
Yes. Well, this is going to take a while to get set up. There'll be plenty to see later. And I want to move across Middle Earth. To the Lonely Mountain. The king stood for what seemed like an eternity at the gate of this magnificent realm and looked out upon the world lost in thought, with a deep concern chiseled upon his aged face. The lights of Dale were beginning to flicker in the distance as the sun departed from the skies. The thrum of the bellows below, though often a sound known to bring comfort in the knowledge that the gears of Aula were churning out their power, were little comfort to him at this dark hour. The king's son, Thorin Stonehelm, had spent the spring in the arid Luine, visiting their clansmen and securing the western lands from intrusions from the enemy. Messengers heralded his return back to Erebor, along with a contingent of Blue Mountain dwarves led by the Baron's son Oric Thornbeard, to protect the heir to the throne. But the party was due to arrive 3 weeks ago, and no trace or reports of their journey east of the Misty Mountains had been revealed. Bane stood in patience and respect. He had been summoned by the king, along with the 4 remaining members of the king's council. The 5th member was Thorin. They had been deliberating for close to an hour. "Ah, we could speculate all day," said the king, interrupting his silence. "And still, we would be ever wanting of an answer." He turned from the gate, and he moved closer to the gathering of dwarves. Gone was the concern from King Dane's face, for upon it steeled the pride of his kin. And he looked to Bane. "Your journey will take you west of the mountains. The elves or the Dunedain in those lands are well traveled, and will have knowledge of the comings and goings in their land." He laid his hand on Bane's shoulder. "Go with the strength of Aula and find my son. And if fate has cursed us this day, and he has met his end, I would know of his demise. Bear those tidings to me, even if such weighs heavy on your heart, so that I might avenge him." The king shook his head, and then he turned to his council. "See that he has all the provisions he needs." And he nods to you, Bane. "And now leave me to my thoughts, please." And he returned to the gate and gazed out in silence. The council looked to you, Bane. And it's drawing on evening time for you. One of the council members, Hogar, I will show you his picture. Who you will know. That is him.
Okay.
He says, "I'm coming with you if you have me."
I'll have you, Holgar. But we need to make haste. I mean, Thorin's trail I don't think will be hard to follow, but but I'd rather find him than avenge him.
Same here. At first light, then.
Aye.
Is there anything you need?
You know I'm always ready to depart, in case a good orc head needs cleaving, but I'll gather the last few remaining items.
Great. And you go your way to prepare and wait for the morning. At the foot of the mountain, just beyond it, is the fine city of Dale. And leading up to it, the towers and spires of Dale were a welcome sight on the horizon as Herobrand snapped the reins of Elengast and caught up with the caravan. The roads had become increasingly more dangerous of late, and King Bard had charged him with escorting merchants between the Elven Kingdom and home. Goblins had been attacking the trade routes close to Mirkwood, and Bard had had enough of it. Indeed, the situation had grown dire. Trade with the peoples living south near to where the mountains of Mirkwood meet the Kelduin, as it begins to bend east, have stopped entirely. No trade has come up for a month now, and scouts and traders who have ventured south have not returned. Herebrand was amongst the king and his council when news of the dwarven king's son Thorin, being much delayed and feared missing, arrived 2 days later. The king fell silent, and his expression had turned grim. A normal expression for the king. The dwarf was well respected in Dale, and had often been in Bard's court on business and pleasure. I could not help but to think that Thorin's plight and the advancing shadow in our realm are connected. What is driving this frenzy of hate? What is... And he stopped short, realizing his rage was getting the better of him. A moment later, carefully and controlled, he turned to Herobrand. We owe it to Dane to aid him in this task. Go to the mountain at first light, if you will, and offer your service. I hear he is sending Bane on this quest, and I deem your sword will be in need. And perhaps you might learn something of the enemy that could aid us here. He took a step back, and he looked upon Herobrand with a look of pride. And here you are. Your father would have been very proud of you. You are a brave and diligent servant of this realm. Return to us in our time of need. And with that, he raises his cup. A drink to your honor, Herobrand. And he takes a drink. Will you take this journey? Grey Wolf? If you're talking, I cannot hear you. He jumped out.
Discord audio was crazy for me a moment ago.
Oh no.
Can you hear me now?
I can now, yes.
Okay, sorry. I had to go in and out again. So, all right. So, as always, my lord, my heart and my sword are yours to command. I'll be proud to serve, and I'll be happy to go to the mountain and accompany Bane and find out what has happened to the king's son. And we will find out what is going on beyond our borders and prepare for any dangers.
I'm very proud of you.
I blush a little bit.
If there's anything that you need, please say, and I will have the steward see to it. But
If I think of anything, my lord, I will speak to the stewards. I think I'm ready. But if I think of anything, I will definitely let them know. First light, I'll leave.
it is agreed then. And
I nod my head and bow, and and leave.
Okay. We move across the realm. You can't hear that yet. I haven't shared my screen with you. Whoops. There we go. Should be able to hear something now. Some ambience.
Not yet.
No?
Mm-mm.
No. Are you
Nope.
sharing the screen or the app? I think you need to share the app to get the audio.
Does it work to share the it out that way? I mean, by sharing the screen?
Yeah, you have to specifically select. I think that is that Firefox or Chrome.
Yeah, it's Chrome. Well, technical error already. Hold on. Hold on a second. Well, that's the only option I've got. Nothing now?
How simple? Nah, nothing. How simple it would have been if Discord hadn't destroyed their YouTube links.
Oh dear.
You would think just sharing the watch thing like that would be enough to get the audio through.
Yeah.
Well, I know that I could give a link and it shares the playlist with you, but I don't know if that's going to be... I think it might be cumbersome. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit quiet. Silent in the background as we play. Hold on. Just seeing if there's some options to change. It worked before, and I don't know what they've changed then to make it not happen. Because I haven't changed any settings. Damn it.
The activities, there's a YouTube
This
thing.
is going to be in Discord.
It's just a tab in Chrome of tabletop audio.
Hmm.
Tell you what, I'm gonna put this link on the campaign chat and see if this works. You have to open up another browser or another tab, I guess. I don't know if it'll work or not. If not, we'll just imagine ambience, but
You sent a login to the Forge.
what? I copied the link. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. I see what I've done. What a moron. Me. Sorry, not you, Saul. There we go. Did it work?
Yeah. Is there a way to adjust the volume for that? Oh, there.
Can others hear it?
Yes, though I do not know which one I'm supposed
Yeah, I
to.
could hear it.
I'm turning it down on my end. I don't know if it's too quiet there, but because it'll be too loud on this end if I don't. But
Well, I think we each do it individually.
I thought you
I don't know.
would. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't know that they changed something in Discord. All right. That little technical interlude carrying on. All right. In Mirkwood. The spiders had never been so bold, not this close to the Elven Kingdom anyway. It was as if the hand of Sauron himself drove the spawn of Ungoliant onto frenzy. Wave after wave of these foul creatures have flooded the ramparts of the kingdom. The king's army, though diligent, grows weary. These are dark times. The forest felt as though there were a sickness in the air that penetrated deep into root and earth. Despite King Thranduil's attempts to hide it, his mind was ever focused on this portent of doom. "It is with haste you must journey to our kinsman over the mountain," he said to his trusted lieutenant of his guard, Belaganor. "And take not with you any semblance of despair or sickness of the heart, for Lord Elrond is ever wise and sees all." The brave archer steeled himself and maintained his poise dutifully, though if truth be told, this task weighed heavy on his mind. Learn from him the source of these intrusions, and, if it is within your power to do so, send them back to the shadow where they belong. That was 3 days ago. The archer and his 2 companions from the guard were nearing the western border of the wood when they were ambushed by a pack of spiders. Having just slain a foul beast, about to ambush his companion, Belaganor drew his bow with another point and took aim on another spawn of Ungoliant. Your 2 companions, Belaganor, are Laskelin and Narniel. And
We should east to Rivendell to what we can learn from Lord Elrond from what these spiders' frenzy is all about. We shouldn't spend too much time here, and if we can't sleep, it'd probably be the best to, get there as soon as possible.
those are your 2 companions.
What's the other one called again?
Laskelin is the
Laskelin,
first
yeah.
one, and then Narniel is the second.
Yeah.
These are...
Narniel. Okay, go ahead.
No, it's alright, you carry on.
Narniel, I'll task you with, keeping up behind us, making sure nothing is sneaking up our backs.
She nods. I will. Now, the spiders you've defeated were low-level spiders, and you're further from the kingdom. You're near the western edge of Mirkwood.
Yeah.
And what path do you wish to take, Belaganor? Says Laskalin.
take the high pass. It would probably be the fastest way into Rivendell.
Indeed.
Let's be on the lookout for any enemies, followers of Sauron.
And will you take the old forest road, or are you going to go across country?
The old forest road.
Okay. You can draw on this map if you select the drawing tool. You can draw your path. And Bane, you could be doing the same as well if you wish, or if you wanted to wait until I come back to you and you can discuss with Harabrand. That is fine too.
I came. Hold on, how do you draw?
So,
Pencil eye.
yeah, good.
We probably came this way.
Yeah, this way down here is a river. This is down where there's been intense trouble with the shadow. You know there's a stronghold somewhere in those mountains. It always has been.
Came edge.
Yeah, that would be good. As a
Okay.
wood elf,
then-
you're gonna know the path through the trees. Other people, it's not safe to leave the old forest road, but you know the way. So you made a
go
loop.
down south from there.
Yeah,
I'm trying to. I don't know how to delete
it's
it.
all right.
It's only
I'll do it.
temporary.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to make. Should be able to. Yes, I can delete it. There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll go down south to the old forest road, and then cross the old ford. Pass into Rivendell.
Okay.
Stay along the edges.
All right. Move now. Oh, that shouldn't have, wish it wouldn't stop so abruptly. To Rivendell. The grace of Esther herself guides your hands. You bring peace and comfort to those in need of you here. Elleray looked up from the wounded arm of the bowman she was healing to see Elrond standing in the archway in the House of Healing. Quietly, he was observing her careful hand as the melody of her song wove its magic. Glorfindel, the general of Rivendell, had returned with his company 6 days ago. from his quest along the borders of Imladris and on up to the edge of the Etenmoors. They had met forces of the Shadow head-on as they crept nearer to the hidden valley, and pursued them as they routed them back to the lands from which they came. There were many injured, for the orcs and trolls fought with ferocity, not seen since the battles of yore. Much had been discussed and speculated in the days since. And so, Elray, you are finishing up some of your daily treatments of the wounded.
Approach Elrond, speak quietly to him. Fear will not be enough, my lord. Shadow grows and spreads its darkness. This is only the beginning.
I feel it too. I fear our part in this will be high.
Must it be, though? Can we not just remain here in our sanctum? Why must elvish lives be risked and lost?
It is sad to see it come this way. For the elves to fade. The time of men must come. And shall we not help them? Shall we abandon them to this world?
I fear they are doomed, with or without us.
Yes. I hope not. But we may have news yet.
News of what, my lord?
Well, I came to tell you. Eladon and Elrohir are returning. I've heard the song. They're approaching Rivendell now. Come, welcome them with me, won't you?
Of course, this is wonderful news. Feared for them since their departure.
Yes. I hope they bring tidings of... I hope their quest was successful. And I'm glad that they are returning.
Heard thou sent them.
I sent them on a quest into the north of Mirkwood. Ever are we hearing tales of the intrusions from Mount Gundabad. These are not the first. I don't know if you recall Eroras and his companions. It came to us telling us of people going missing and activity of the shadow rising all across Eriador. And I sent them back to bear that message to their peoples. And we await their return. But I sent Eladon and Elrohir out to see if we can discover the source. Let us go down. And And you go down to the opening courtyard once you cross the river. And it's the big circular area just after you cross the bridge into Imladris.
Will the Lord Glorfindel be joining us?
Not as yet. He has taken a moment to steel himself. He's much disturbed by what he's seen. But I expect him to join us later. And you hear approaching... Please don't be loud. There it is. Horses coming. And riding into the courtyard, Elrond's two sons. Now it's normal for them to journey together. You're well used to this. And hold on. And they get off their horses. I can't resist doing this. And they both step off and hand the reins off to servants. And approach you and Elrond with excitement on their face. Suil Adar, says Eladon. I'm putting the translations up. Navadwi is Elder here. And Elrond goes up to them and embraces them and says, El Sila Erin Lu Eguvadedwin. You are most welcome back. And they look to you, and they know you. Eldaray, how do you fare?
I have a grim, like a grim kind of look, and I rarely smile, and I just give them a light bow. There's a troubled question you ask. While I am unhurt and unwounded, I feel the sorrow of my kin.
Yes. What has transpired since our departure?
Not but evil and the spread of the shadow. Have you seen of it out there?
It is very grim, much as we feared.
Yet you speak of a star shining.
That is Elrond who said that, by the way.
Oh, I see.
'Cause
Still
he's
say that to him, kind of.
a star at my
Yeah,
at my two sons returning to me safely. For I fear outside we do not have such glad tidings. Come, let us go to and have a sit. You must be tired from your journey. Come, Elray, come with us. And
quietly.
you go into the library of Elrond, which he is often at. And Elladan begins. The shadow advances as we felt, Father. And they are quite bold. They are coming out of Mount Gundabad. But they've crossed the Longwell and crossed the Anduin. We're not certain how far south they have gotten to, but we were able to dispatch the ones that came into our path. But the numbers are increasing. It is not good tidings, I fear, that we bring.
How are we to oppose these growing forces? We should hide here in our haven.
We may hide, says Elrond. But eventually, we cannot hold back the entire horde of the Shadow. There are others. There are others who will seek us out. I have seen it. They will come to us here and seek out our aid. Shall we turn them away?
Lorraine has just kind of a troubled look on her face. She's thinking deeply.
We lost.
Time she goes. Rohir and Elladan. Fingers of the Shadow, is it you've seen? Are they orc, troll, beast, spider? What enemy do we face?
Orcs and troll. And they're quite aggressive. More an aggression that reminds of battles of yore. It is very strange.
What you say is grim. We should invite Glorfindel into these discussions. Of all of us, he has... I wouldn't say that, I would say he is most known to these older times you reference.
Yes. I have sent for him. This is Elrond. I am sure he will join us soon. Alright, I want to move to... I'm going to leave you there for a moment. And we go to Bree. The fire from lighting his pipe briefly lit the old ranger's hooded face, before being obscured again by shadow and smoke. A dark storm approaches, I fear. Something stirs in the shadow, he said, and fell silent, away with his thoughts. Wanderer sat across from him and watched his weathered face. She had been patrolling the northern edge of the South Downs as part of the Dunedain initiative regarding increased bandit activity all across Eriador. They had arranged to meet in Bree to share their observations. Talendale, as the old ranger was known, had come down from the wilderness east of Anuminas with a couple of his fellow rangers. There had been growing rumors of bandit activity in the North Downs, an area he remained closely attentive to, and he wanted to see how far those stories carried. He and his companions had come across a small band of goblins headed west. They defeated them and questioned one who remained, who mentioned that the others would still get their prize, and laughed before dying. It seems fate had destined for me to meet many on my way here, for I had crossed paths with Gilraeth, the hunter from Menhiriath. You may have heard of her. That is her. She had just escorted her traveling companion to the borders of the Shire, a young hobbit by the name of Rudigar, and was making her way to the Dunedain to bear news of missing people of these lands and roving orc bands of large numbers en route dour. He puffed his pipe, and he went on. Fearing what the goblins we dispatched might mean by the prize, I sent Gilraeth back, along with my two traveling companions, Moonwolf and Raven, to guard the northeastern passage into the Shire. It is a peaceful land, I'm sure you know, and I would not wish that upon them. Relighting his pipe and blowing out a smoke ring that seemed to hang in the air between you, he continued, "So what do we have? Of our initial endeavor, bandit activity has increased, of late in the North Downs at least, and it is beginning to expand to surrounding regions, much as we suspected. And this will have to be dealt with. Is this the source of the missing people that Gilraeth was talking about? But now this, roving orc bands and goblin bands who number many. And this far south." He shakes his head. "What dark designs are these? It does not bode well, and darker days are ahead indeed." "How have you fared?"
I have fared well enough. I have noticed a darkness in the land. Things are not quite right. I do my best to protect the ones that I come across.
As we do. That is our task. Gilraeth had two more companions, an elf and a dwarf, who were scouting out lands near the Weather Hills. before returning to Rivendell. That is what she said their mission was, their quest. She was planning to join them when she had finished her task. I beseech you, Wanderer, to travel to the Elven Kingdom and inform them of this news, although they may suspect much of it already, wise as they are.
Indeed.
He looks around. Will you take up this quest?
I will.
Although you're not used to Talendil expressing a whole lot of emotion. But you did detect a hint of pride on his face. I return now to Fornost to keep an eye on movements in that region. The missing people Gilraeth mentioned may have some connection to the bandit presence. I will see what I can find out. Look for me there, if your path brings you back this way. And he tamps out his pipe, finishes the last of his ale, and stands up and wraps his cloak about him. Move in haste, Wanderer, and ever keep a watchful eye, for we have many enemies moving about these lands. And he nods his head. And he goes for the exit to leave the prancing pony. Do you linger?
No, I'm going to take the last swallow of my drink and up and leave and head along the east-west road towards Rivendell.
Okay. Since you're going to follow the road straight then? If so, then I won't make you mark your path.
Oh, you cut out real bad, Andy.
Oh, what's going on with Discord today? I said since you're heading along the road, I won't make you draw your path. Unless you
Okay.
decide to deviate from that.
Okay.
By the way, this map is drawn to scale, those of you using the measurement tool. That's the one that's once you select the, if you don't know, sorry, but if you don't know the ruler measuring distance, once you select the Lego person, look. All right. I want to jump back to the Lonely Mountain. It is the following morning.
I awaken early and prepare to leave with, I already forgot his name, Holger, Holfast, something with an H.
Hogar.
Holger, okay. The tokens don't come with names. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay. So I prepare to make my way down the mountain. And I'll ask Holger. Remind me, Holger. Do we what was the prince's path supposed to be?
Normally, might come through the old forest road. If he meant
So
it
it
to
was to
danger, it could have gone to the north route across the Grey Mountains. Although that used to be a treacherous path, although not quite so much since Smaug has been defeated. But we have no reason to suspect.
Well, we should travel his most likely path. In terms of orc presence, though, I would not count them out. We did not kill the last of their ilk in our fields here. They still lurk in the mountains and gone to bed in our homes of old.
Indeed, they do that.
And for their sakes, I would hope they did not take the Grey Road, and also the orc should hope that as well, because I will drive them from that place if that is where he is. And then I would continue to lead my little pony down the mountain.
But to you, it seems big.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Many, many steps. Why has it always got to be steps? So, I don't see why we wouldn't just head all the way until we hit the Old Forest Road then, and then start making our way towards the High Pass, because apparently that was the way he took, so we're going to try to find news of him.
Herabrand, are you waiting at the foot of the mountain?
Oh, it's dawn, isn't it? Sure. Sure, I'm there on Ellengast, waiting.
So, Bane, you see Herabrand, who you are aware of and have met, sat on his horse.
You would see Bane in his usual attire of heavy mail. His faceplate is not on at this point, just because of the traveling that he has to do. But he sees Herabrand. Herabrand! I did not expect to see you at the foot of the mountain today. What brings you here?
Well met, Bane. I've been tasked to accompany you by my lord. It seems.
Accompany me.
It seems our paths will be one. There's trouble afoot. The shadow seems to be rising, and people of goodwill should ally. So, if you don't mind, I will travel with you as you seek your dwarf lord.
I kind of turned to Olgar. Well, it would seem that the mouths of the doors are not as tight as their doors. However,
Hogar raises his
I would-
eyebrows.
However, I do not shun the company. Plus, I am eager to hear how many goblin heads or orc heads you have collected since our last parting. We mean to make down the Old Forest Road. I hope that does not deter you in any regard.
It seems the most likely path.
It does indeed. Well, it seems like you are ready.
As always, I laugh. Let's get some miles underneath us.
Indeed. And I kind of kick my sides into my pony again to get it going. Or I guess I'm riding him.
Yeah.
I'll see why not.
And I adjust the pace of Ellengast to match the little pony.
Yes.
Although he's spirited, he'd like to go ahead, but I hold him back a little. It's all right, boy. It's all right, boy.
So yeah, so I guess we don't need to draw the line necessarily because it's following basically the river until we get to the Old Forest.
Yeah, that's fine. So this is normally on a journey phase. It would take longer, but I want to accelerate these sort of things just so we can get you all together. Because I'm eager to get everyone involved, but I just want to hit some high points along the way. This would be true.
I'll also suggest to Harabrand and Holgar, if we make a quick pace, we might be able to spend the night in safety near Bjorn if he is a willing host. He might also have news.
And
That'll be quite a ride. It'll take us a while to get there.
It will. But I feel like he would know, at least if he was in the area, or at least the activities of other parties.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll pass Lake Town, and we may hear things as we hit the eaves of the forest.
Indeed.
And when we do hit the eaves of the forest, as an aside, I'm going to whistle and see if I can summon a thrush to talk to.
yes, you have that ability.
Yeah, and see if I can find any information about the forest. Maybe they can give me a little warning, if heads up if there's going to be any trouble ahead.
And you make your way south. And since you're riding, it is a quicker journey. When you get near the borders, do you go along the lake? Or sorry, the river that cuts through the edge of Mirkwood, or do you go around it?
I know I don't see a road there, so
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
the
not
river's probably the quickest route, I would imagine, but
yeah.
right, because we'd have to go kind of a little bit to the east
Yeah.
to get around that area. If there's a sort of a path, I think we'd just follow the river. If that's okay with Dean, it's probably the quickest.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems like the quickest, and as far as I'm aware, not dangerous route at all. I don't see why we wouldn't follow the river.
Hopefully my little bird will tell me something.
Yeah.
All right. And you get down. You're getting close to the old forest road, and that ability, if you want to use it, where are you at? There we go. Yes. So you must. You can use courtesy, persuade, or song.
Let's see. I think I'll persuade the bird.
All right.
So just if I just roll off persuade off the sheet. Should work.
Yeah. And do you have a? Let me see your character sheet. I forget. Persuade. Persuade is favored for you. It'll come up automatically.
Okay. All right. So here we go.
You got a Gandalf. It means an automatic success.
So I whistle, and the little bird, I assume, comes out of the woods, out of the
Yes.
tree, and hops on my shoulder, and I whisper to it in bird language, or perhaps it just understands common tongue, Westrot, and I say, Let me know, little one, if there's any trouble up ahead. And here's a little bit of seed cake. And I give it a little piece of little bit of seed cake, and I guess he flies off.
Oh, it's wrong music.
Bane will say, I still think the Raven is the way to go. See, they're much bigger.
Small and stealthy.
I suppose.
And the bird says to you, only the rest of you looking on, you just see this bird whistling, but Harebrand understands. I will fly away and have a look for you.
I say, that's a good fellow.
And he goes. Near when you get to the old forest road, I need both of you to make an awareness roll.
I hope you're better at that than I am.
No, I'm not. I'm quite bad at that. So here we go.
Yeah, that's about right.
And Hogar is not necessarily any better either.
It's okay. It's when we get into we don't know when the fight's coming, but once we get into the fight, that's where we shine.
Right. Maybe the bird's real aware. Hopefully the bird will tell me something.
And you hear from the trees a voice, and it says, Harebrand and Bane and Hogar, far from the mountain. What is the trouble? Why do you journey so? And stepping out from the tree is a band of 4 wood elves. They're not aggressive at all. You've dealt with them before. You're all allies.
Yeah, it's had trade relations of it.
Yeah.
Do I recognize any of the elves?
There's a couple you may have seen before, but you haven't actually talked to them. But
okay. Well met, my friends. We're traveling to the old forest road to make our way westward to the mountains.
be wary of the road. The shadow is much advancing these days. We are here sent by the king to keep an eye on the borders of Markwood. Have you noticed increased activity from foul beings?
It seems everywhere the shadow is rising.
You said we all got those messengers, right?
Messengers?
From the prequel, whatever, the ones that went back all to the respective peoples.
Oh, yes.
And indeed, for forces stir and gun to bad, if the news has not reached you yet.
We have noticed encroaching onto Mirkwood. Many of us are being sent out. The lieutenant of the guard, I believe he's a friend of yours, Herabrand Belaganor.
Ah, yes.
He has been sent west.
Um,
He's been sent west to patrol the western borders of Mirkwood and then to journey on to cross the mountain into Rivendell for just such a reason.
hail. Hail, Haraban.
You're not there.
I
We'll
You're,
see you after some time.
you're not there yet. I'm sorry. You're all the way on the west side of Mirkwood there, Lampshade.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear what was said before.
Oh, sorry. Is it cutting out again on you?
Reason Discord was being. It's Discord. It occasionally will just stop the audio.
Oh, man. It's been strange lately.
The shadow grows.
It seems everyone has journeys to make.
Well, we
Yeah,
will.
our path lies that way, so perhaps we will run into him.
Have you seen any orc presence?
We have been lucky today and not.
And the spiders?
We have seen spiders, yes. Do be careful. And ever watch your back.
Very well.
We must continue on.
I would ask before you leave, or before you resume your duties. You have not seen more dwarves pass by this road, have you?
We have not. Which
No,
anyone in particular?
My Lord Thorin.
He journeyed out several months ago. But we have not seen him return this way. Unless perhaps
Very well.
he took the northern road and the narrows of the Grey Mountains. But we do not think it likely, do you?
Not unless he ran into danger of some sort. But
I hope not.
and look towards the mountains. If you hear more news of him, or if he does come this way, please send it to the mountain.
All right. And
keep your eyes ever wary, my friends.
to you.
And good luck.
And they move on.
It's a pleasure, elves. I don't know your names.
Back to the Shire. So you were headed to Bilbo's.
Yes.
And it's quite crowded, and on your journey you are kind of having to weave in and out of people. And you're actually haven't gotten. She has her father's. Myrna has her father's wagon, and you haven't quite gotten to it yet. And you hear a commotion in the direction that you're going to be heading, and take you to? Another map. Has it loaded? I'm not sure how long it'll
Yes.
take.
Yeah, yeah, I see
Okay.
it.
So this is Meikle Delving down here. And Bag End is up here. Storming down this road, coming south. A large commotion. There's a rider on a pony, riding at breakneck speeds. And people are dodging out of the way. And some people are screaming, actually. And the rider is going so fast and doing his best. He hasn't hit anyone, but he's come close. And he's screaming, "The goblins have returned! The goblins have returned!" And he goes right into the center of town at the town hall and just jumps off the pony. And he shouts it again, "They've returned!" And a lot of people gather around him. And the mayor and a couple of bounders. Bounders, if you don't know, are like the sheriffs of the Shire. They come around him. You're a little bit a ways away from that. You'd only just started your journey, or started to walk to get to the wagon to go east. But you can't quite hear what they're saying. Will you continue on, or will you go back to listen? Entirely up to you, of course.
I look over to Myrna and I said, goblins in the Shire, doesn't seem right.
Maybe.
Myrna, oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was Myrna, drop your wagon. Let's run down and see what's going on.
Yeah, she has a look of confusion on her face. Surely he must be mistaken. And you come up to there, and he's midway through telling a story, and they're like, slow down, say, what are you saying? And he says, goblins have raided Hardbottle. Hardbottle's way up here. At the northeast. At the bottom of the green fields. His look on this hobbit's face is just disturbed completely and terrified. They attacked the hunting lodge. And took several hobbits. And our bounder, Bruno Bracegirdle, wounded, mortal, I fear. And once they'd had all that they could carry, they left, leaving a few of us there. I've come as fast as I could. And they're all really quite shocked at this. And all hobbits are aware of, in ancient history, the Battle of the Greenfields, when goblins had raided and were defeated in large part by the efforts of the hobbits. Myrna looks at you and, this is terrible news. Can you believe it?
it doesn't seem possible. Maybe it was just one or two goblins that lost their way and found themselves in the Shire.
And no, there were several of them. Several.
Are they still in what is it? Hard Bottle?
No, they fled north.
I see. And with your bounder injured, it seems quite dire for Hard Bottle. Well, I know some people in Buckland. They're the hobbits there are quite hardy. Maybe they can spare a few bounders to protect you. And I know I'll go east. I'll talk to the big folk in Bree. Maybe they know something more of this.
The mayor turns to you. Be very careful. It's very noble of you to do so. And the mayor says, he's speaking to the bounders. Assemble a team immediately. I want patrols throughout the borders of the Shire. And Myrna starts to step away from that. We have to tell Bilbo.
Yes, we should. He might know more about this. Seems quite wise.
Let's get my father's wagon. Let's go. She looks very disturbed and very distressed from this.
I think Fulvis right now is thinking of like strategies and how goblins were repelled in the stories he's heard in his book. Maybe on the way running up to Bilbo, he's like just flipping through his books, seeing if there's anything he can learn.
Yeah. The most famous story is of Bull Roarer Took. And which oops, it's a little too loud. Of a battle that defeated them. The hobbits in particular had a lot of archers that really evened the playing field. And I need to open another map. And I will take you all to it. 1 minute. One second. Why is it dark? All right. Stop. All right, and I need to bring. Oh, there it is. And you come up to Bagshot Row. And come up to the gate. I don't have a token for her carriage, but her wagon, but she stops out front. Are you coming? She says to you.
Oh, yes, I'll. Sorry, I was just reading about this story.
Oh, yeah, you and your books. Learning anything?
Well, it seems like this sounds like the story of Bulrar Took. Uh, Back in the day, hobbits would repel goblins with bows and arrows, it seems.
Well, getting to use my bow would be a good thing. And she opens the gate and makes her way up the stairs. Ignore this token that comes up. It's the director of photography. And
Is this the House of Bilbo, or is
yes, this is Bag End.
Okay.
Yeah, on Bagshot Row, that's where he lives. You're in Hobbiton, or just north of Hobbiton, sorry. And Bilbo's green door is there. And she knocks on the door. And there's not an answer. Knocks again. And make an awareness roll for me, please.
Alright. I'm not too bad at it.
Uh-oh. Failure. Let's see what it gets. Well, I've infected everyone's rolls. I always roll really badly as I'm being true to form. And she knocks again. And you could swear, Fulvus, that you saw someone peeking out of the window here. And shortly after, the door opens. And standing there is Bilbo.
Bilbo, old friend, it's been a while. I wish these were better circumstances to come visit you.
Shh, he said, and he looks about. Quick, get inside, get inside.
I run inside.
Soon
Oh,
as,
I see.
as soon as you do, it opens up and you can see what's in there. And I gotta move her in. Not on top of Bilbo. And he steps out and he looks about back and forth, and he quickly jumps back inside and shuts the door. It's not safe. It's not safe. There's all sorts of goings on. Come. We're in the parlor. And he goes in. And inside you see your friend Rudiger sitting in a chair by the fire.
Rudiger, I wasn't expecting to see you here.
I've come back from my quest, although the news is not good.
Well, I don't mean to alarm everyone, but we've brought some bad news ourselves as well.
Yes, I'm afraid we've already heard they've come by with some messengers, and word travels fast. What have you heard?
We heard that there was a small group of goblins that have attacked Hardbottle.
Yes, that is what we
We-
heard as well.
Do either of you know about why there's goblins in the Shire?
No, but there's been all sorts of strange goings on lately. This is Bilbo.
Strange goings on. It's the Shire, Bilbo. The
Yeah,
strangest thing that happens is the strangest thing that happens is when uh, I can't even think of something Shire. Uh,
Stealing
it's
Gandalf's
a,
firework.
yeah, Gandalf's fireworks.
I mean beyond the borders of the Shire. There's news of bandits and goblins. And now they've come to the edge of the Shire. They've come into the Shire. He shakes his head. These are dark days, Fulvis.
Yes, this sounds quite bad. I well, I know I was telling Myrna and the sheriff of Mikkel Delving that we should go east to Bree and talk to maybe the rangers there.
Yes, yes. Although the road will be dangerous, I fear. Do you...
Not any more trouble than I've gotten into in the past.
Well, if you be careful and stay hidden as much as you can. And at that point, there's a loud knock at the door. And Bilbo is just, his eyes, like, oh, who could that be? And he runs off. And hold on, I'm just getting a thing prepared that I thought I had ready, but I do not. All right. And he looks out, comes running back. It's a big person. A woman. Looks like a ranger. Dark hair. Rudigar. Gilriath? And he comes and he goes to look. It's Gilriath. Yes, she's a companion of mine. She's who escorted me here. And he opens the door. And she says, hello, I was told I might find Rudigar here. And Rudigar steps out, and you have. Here I am. And she's, is everything all right? Is everything all right here? We patrolled, me and a couple of rangers came, we were sent to come across in the northern edge of the Shire. But it seems we came too late. I hear the goblins have raided in the north. Is that the farthest south they have come? And Bilbo says, come inside, come inside. Which she does, and she's gigantic in there. One of my kin sent to see that you were safe. Sent me to see that you were safe. She ducks her head and comes into the parlor. Rudiger says, yes, we were just discussing traveling to Bree. To get help.
I first whispered to Myrna, a ranger in the Shire. These are very strange times indeed.
Yeah, she's speechless, by the way, Myrna.
And I do a very big bow towards Gilraeth and I say, yes, pleased to meet you. I'm Fulvis Brandybook. And this is my friend Myrna Greenhill. And we were thinking of actually heading east to talk to the Rangers, but seems you've made your way here.
I am bound for Rivendell. The actions of the Shadow are great. My companion, who you've not met, but has bid me to travel there, which is where I was going to head. When Rudiger shakes his head. Yes, I was to meet her in Bree and we were headed to Rivendell afterwards. Seems plans have changed. And Bilbo's Rivendell. The elves are wise. If they know what to do, if anyone knows what to do, it'll be them.
I speak up. I say, Rivendell, the elves. It was a few goblins. Sure, that doesn't happen in the Shire, but certainly we could just fight them back and keep our homes safe without involving the elves.
It is more than just the Shire, says Gilraeth. There is trouble everywhere. We hear tales of Rudiger and I had discovered large roving bands of orcs and now goblins, it seems, and people are going missing. And now they've taken some from the Shire. I do not think they will stop. Bilbo says, we've had peace for so long, we do not have an army. We will need help in this.
I think for a moment, and I see everything that's going on, and I think I'm both excited and hesitant
Yeah.
to just jump at the opportunity to go to Rivendell, and I guess I sort of deflect and I look at Rudiger and I say, well, this seems like maybe an extension of your adventures, my friend. I wish you luck. But I will may I accompany you guys to Bree, maybe.
Yes, please do.
I look at Myrna and I say, Myrna, but what about you? Will you be joining us?
I will if you wish me to. Sounds exciting, but dangerous. I mean, we do like adventure, and here it has come to us. This is more than just your stories, for you're in one.
It's it's just a travel down to Bree. I nothing story worthy, I think, yet. Not unlike the adventures Gilraith or Bilbo or Rudigar here have taken.
Right. Then I will come with you.
All right, well, it's settled then. I'll make a quick stop at Buckland and ask some of the bounders there to head north to Hardbottle, uh, and then we can make our way down the east-west road.
Yes, we will pass. This is Gilraeth. We will pass that way. Two of my kin are waiting on the eastern edge of the Shire. And Bilbo says, wait, let me get you some things. And he runs off to the kitchen. And then you hear him rustling around back into his pantry. And he comes back with a bag. You know, here's food for your journey. Do be careful. And please watch your back.
We we will, Bilbo. I'll always remember your adventures and stories, and if we run into any trouble, we'll hide at the first sight.
Yes, yes. Do say hello. If you make it to the elves, do say hello for me. But it is your choice,
make
Fulvis.
Maybe if we make it there and back, I'll bring you some of that elvish way bread.
Yes, and a new song. A new song would be good.
Of course, Master Bilbo.
And Rudiger says, farewell, Bilbo. Shall see you soon. Fare you well, says Bilbo. And at that point, we're at the halfway point. I wonder if you guys wanted to take a break.
Yeah, I need a drink.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, it won't be long. Belaganor. So I want, as I've said to you guys, I want to make this journey part faster than it normally would be. So there would have been a lot more things going on, but you and your elven companions have, when you got to the mountains, the path that you went up, you'd gone quite some time, and you found it was blocked by an avalanche. Well, there's multiple paths up through the mountain, so you had decided perhaps to backtrack, or to climb over it. Either way, it was going to take you quite some time. What would you have preferred? It's also safer to backtrack, but... Belaganor? Is my audio cutting out again? This Discord just... not...
I think I can see his thing lighting up, but I don't hear him speaking.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. You may be muted?
That's what happened to me earlier. I wasn't muted, but I could see the lights blinking, and I had to.
Back now.
Oh, there you are. Yeah.
Ooh.
Plagued by technical issues on this. That's what happens. Sorry, did you hear what I had said to you? It's happening again. Lampshade. Can't hear you.
No, I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Your path up into the Misty Mountains, you'd found it blocked by an avalanche. And the safer option would be to backtrack and to take a different path up, or to try to climb it. Although it's a lot more dangerous that way. It's kind of a lot of loose rock, and not quite sure how far the avalanche goes or went.
He said the safer option is to go up north.
Well, it's just to backtrack, because there's multiple paths up the mountain.
Yeah, okay. Is it Nathaniel? The woman elf name?
Oh, yes. Narniel.
You know, seems that we might have to backtrack out of this.
Yes, I fear.
The mountains here.
Yes, that. It would be best, I fear. We'll lose a couple of days, but I'd rather get there in one piece. I wonder if this is natural, this avalanche. And
I could, tell if it was natural.
there isn't an easy way for you to tell, but what you do notice is a flock of crows have come and has They've flown over you for a bit, and then they've landed on different rocky crags and are just looking down upon you. And as you move,
That we have
they follow.
seems of the Dark Lord.
And you get a very like a darkness, comes over you. I mean, just a vibe feels like an ill omen. And they follow you for about a mile. And suddenly they take flight and head north. When you come back to a place to where you can turn again and take a different path, you see 3 horses approaching, with riders. Well, a horse and a couple of ponies. And you see someone you know, Bane from Erebor, and Herabrand, who you have heard of before and have dealt with to some extent. And you guys see 3 elves making their way up the mountain.
Hail, my friends. Have you traveled far? Oh, Pelagana. Well met.
So, our path up the mountain has been blocked by an avalanche.
Well, that is unfortunate, but it is a good thing that there are many passes through these mountains.
And another safer passage through, so we can make our way to Rivendell to discuss some things with Lord Elrond.
Indeed. I'm assuming, by the way, Bjorn didn't know too much.
He was out hunting.
Ah, okay. That is fine.
Yeah,
Better
I
hunting.
remember you were going to pass through there. I forgot to give you an update. I'm sorry.
Very good. I just want to make sure. Okay. Yes, so, indeed. Well, have you found another one, or seen one? Otherwise, we can help you in this task.
They had noticed another path they were planning to take, but they hadn't actually started yet.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't by chance seen any of these shorter bearded fellows around, have you?
You mean noble lordly?
What brings you out this way?
Just that. We are looking for my lord. I'm assuming you have not seen him. But, Lord Thorin?
No, not since he went through, maybe a couple weeks back. Hasn't came back since.
Well,
Shall we endeavor to make our way to an alternate path together? There's strength in numbers, and there are evil things about.
Yes, seems like a great idea. might be good in these times.
Well, I know your elf eyes are keen, and your knives are sharp, and your arrows true, so I feel safer in your company.
You are, with an ability as well, so it could
I
come.
laugh and pat my sword.
Well, otherwise we might as well be off before my beard freezes.
Let's
I-
do that before your manlyhood.
I don't know. I'd like to see your beard freeze, I think. I laugh.
I think you'd freeze first. And then-
Or perhaps my dowdy friend.
Okay. By the way, do we see these evil-looking birds as well, or just the elf?
No, you hadn't. That happened just before you guys caught up with them.
All right.
But as you journey on up the mountains, they come back, or it's another group of birds, another group of crows. They come back and perch and watch. This time they're quite loud in their calls to you. It's almost as if they're taunting you.
Well, it's not bats, so that's a good thing.
Any chance I can talk to these ones?
You can try. You can make
Try to
You can make
persuade them.
Yeah, you can try.
Yeah, let's try and persuade them to leave us alone or something. Yeah, no, let's see.
Wow. That's a great success. So you've got a special skill success you could choose because you've got a Gandalf plus another success. So if you click on the skill special successes tab of that journal called screen, there's some options, some of which aren't relevant for the situation.
Critical success.
And you get to pick.
How about go quietly? So we achieve our goal noiselessly or without attracting further attention.
Okay.
So they ignore us, basically, I guess.
Yeah. You're not able to get, even though you got a success, the only thing they speak back to you is very rude, which I will not repeat here, and they laugh and they say that you will fail, and they fly off. But they hover overhead.
I've never met such rude birds in my life. They say we shall fail. We shall see.
All right. Now you guys,
I haven't done it.
go ahead.
Can I? After hearing that, I'll try to intimidate the birds. I'll yell, "Well, if we'll fail, it'll be after I pluck all your feathers first." Scare the birds off.
And they squawk as they go. But they fly off north again.
I have a general idea. I have a general sense of direction towards Gundabad.
Yes, you would know that.
That does not bode well. Sharpen my axe. Look at my travel stone.
Wait, what happened? I was like gone for a minute.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
just saw your message there. So you'd started to make your journey across the mountains, and the crows came back. And Herobrand can speak with birds, and they were taunting you guys and calling you rude names, and said that you will all fail. And then Bane insulted them back.
Yeah, Bane gave them a 1-2, and then they flew off.
But they headed north.
Okay.
Towards Gundabad.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
It's
go ahead.
came down here.
Yeah. And so you continue on your journey. I want to jump back to Wanderer.
Okay.
On the road, leaving Bree. Now, you don't have a horse, is that correct?
That's correct. I'm poor.
I love the way you said that. All right. And
You're not poor. You're just frugal.
and you're a couple of days out of Bree on the east-west road. And it's getting on towards evening. And you can see off to the side of the road. Let's see how far will you be. You're a few days out, so you're right about there. And you can see off to the side of the road. You see a couple of horses wandering, and they're saddled. They're not tied down anywhere. And I need you to make, let's see, hold on. I need you to make a roll. I want you to make a scan roll, please. Ooh.
Yeah.
As you're looking about, a coldness sort of comes over you. Coldness. Almost as if the shadow itself had passed over you or through you. And something doesn't feel quite right. These horses wandering. They're off to the right side of the road. What do you do?
So in here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to the closest one and grab its reins and kind of pat its head and look around, see if I can find its riders.
Yeah, the horse seems to be, it's not quite calm. Like, you know, as if, I mean, although you don't have a horse, but you've been around them, of course, many times, and it feels nervous, like like a horse is after something exciting might have happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you see feet sticking out of a bush that was hidden to you until you got this far. Someone is lying there.
Okay, I'm gonna approach the bush and take a look, but I'm gonna approach cautiously because don't know what the deal is.
And you find
Pull back.
an elf, very, very wounded. You're not even sure if he's still alive. And I need you to see your skill set. I wonder. There you are. A hunting roll would be appropriate here. There you go. Automatic success. Yeah, you see telltale signs that a battle happened here. But the only body that is around, or the only person or body, whether he's alive or not, is this elf. And it seemed the result of this battle, others who walked away from it went north. And at that you hear a labored breath come from this elf.
Seems he's alive, but badly wounded. I'd try to see if I can heal him in some way.
Okay. You can make a healing roll if you wish. Wow, great success. So the extra success, when you get injured in this game, so there's a number of days. It's kind of like having a critical injury in Alien, but there's a number of days before you are actually healed with it. But so the extra success goes to shorten that.
Okay.
And he looks at you. He coughs and are they gone?
Who? Who attacked you? What is going on here?
It was orcs.
Orcs?
Yeah,
Here?
I know. There was a dwarf, my friend, Bellar. Oh,
I have not yet found anyone else. You were the only one I have found, other than 2 horses.
that's right. They took him. What did they say? They had knocked me down where you find me now. I think they must have thought they left me for dead, but yes, I heard them say to grab the dwarf. He can join the rest of Radgul's dwarven collection.
Dwarven collection?
That's all I heard. And
That does not sound good.
we tracked a group of orcs to here. Reconnaissance. But I think we bit off more than we could chew. We ran. They chased us. We had two other companions, an elf and a ranger, Gilriath. This is the same ranger that Talendale had mentioned to you.
Yeah, that's the one I'm following, right?
Well, he had said that he had sent her back to guard the northern passage into the Shire, and that she had two companions, an elf and a dwarf,
Oh, okay. That's what okay.
who were headed to Rivendell. Gilrath and Rudigar. We were gonna meet them in Rivendell.
I'm on my way to Rivendell as well to pass along information.
I don't know that it's safe for them.
I should try to catch up if I can and warn them.
Now you are east of Bree now, so if they're coming from where Talendale said, from the Shireway, then they will be behind you.
Okay.
Now he is.
Well, we need to warn them.
He's quite wounded and is not fit to handle a horse by himself.
Well, seeing as how you cannot ride alone, we should get you somewhere where you can rest and heal. And possibly we can send someone to warn them, or I can attempt to warn them. We're only a few days out from Bree.
There are two horses here, although he couldn't pilot one. He couldn't handle one.
He could be able to ride with my assistance.
Yeah, you could actually sort of, I don't want to use the word tie, but you can secure him to a horse. You know, partly him hanging on, and then partly him kind of fastened to it, to keep him from falling off.
Yes.
You can tie that horse, one horse to the other, if you wish. What do you wish to do?
I don't want to just leave him on the side of the road, so I'm going to take him and do my best to secure him to the saddle and turn back and bring him back to Bree, where at least he can get some better medical care than I can provide. And once back in Bree, see if someone else can go along and warn the others, or if I can get someone to come with me.
Okay. Well, with a little bit of effort, you're able to pick him up and put him up on the horse, fasten them together, and make your way back. Now, are you going to try to go as fast as you can?
Yes, as fast as possible, where I don't injure him more or risk him falling off.
Yeah, it will take you a little bit of time, a couple of days, but half the time it took you to walk out this way. And obviously you have to stop from time to time, but you can check on his wounds. Fortunately, you are a healer, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
And the party coming out of the Shire. You've stopped by Buckland, and what were you planning to do there, Fulvis? You were going to send some bounders, I believe, or?
Yeah, I imagine I've talked to the bounders when I'm shirking on my duties, and I just know some of them.
Okay. And that was all you wanted to do while you were in Buckland, then, before heading on to Bree?
I guess I visit my family, or I feel like we're going really fast here, so I'll just mention to someone to go talk to my family about that I'm heading out. I'll be back maybe in a week or two.
They're probably used to that.
Yeah.
Although they do tell you to be very careful and to watch your back. And I'm going to skip ahead, and you guys make it into Bree. So 2 rangers had joined you as soon as you got past the Brandywine Bridge. 2 other rangers there, Gilriath's companions. And they've come into Bree with you. Wanderer, you arriving at the nearabouts the same time. Where are you headed with your wounded elf? You're muted, by the way, if you're talking. Saul.
Thanks, yeah, I was talking to myself. Well, I would head to, I'd imagine they have some sort of healer doctor in town, go immediately there.
Yeah, you would be aware of that. I mean, it's not a large place. It's not like, but you've been here many times, so you would know where that might be. Are you staying there with him for a while, or what are your plans?
Well, I have the information of him being attacked and his companion being taken for the dwarf, whatever they called it, and the others not being safe. So I'm gonna see if I can get a companion to come with me to head out and warn those others before they run into those orcs.
Where do you go in Bree for that?
I would go to the Prancing Pony.
Okay. And those of
See if I can run into maybe another ranger.
Those of you coming from the Shire, where might you head? Fulvis, you felt that there was a ranger. You had mentioned that anyway, but I'm not sure if that was your exact plan.
Well, I think at this point, I was going to just speak to any ranger and make them aware. So I'm just sort of like, just following along. These people probably know much better than me at this point what to do.
Right. They would go to the Prancing Pony, I believe. And, because, Gilraeth was going to meet Rudagard there at the Prancing Pony, but, and Wanderer, you see some rangers that you do know. There is Moonwolf and Raven. They're the companions of Talendil. And you see Gilraeth. They've got a few hobbits, a couple of hobbits, 3 hobbits with them actually.
I'm going to approach them and inform them of what I came across on the east-west road and the elf I just brought in and everything else, how they took his companion and how they say the others wouldn't be safe, and how I want to go out and warn them.
All right, so you this ranger comes up and starts another ranger. It's a day of rangers. We're looking for one, and now you've got 4 here. It's been a day of strangeness for you. And Rudigar, is there, by the side of Gilraeth and sees, one of her fellow companions. And Gilraeth says to you, "What has brought you here to Wanderer?"
As I was heading to Rivendell, I came across a pair of horses with no riders. Upon closer investigation, I found an injured elf. He told me they were attacked and his companion was taken. They also said that they had crossed paths with some others and that they are in danger. I brought the elf back here to be have his wounds treated, and now I'm looking to get some companions to ride out and warn the others before they meet the same fate.
A dwarf and an elf? What were their names?
You're gonna have to remind me because I done forgot.
The elf's name was...
Sorry.
That's all right. There's a lot of names I've thrown out at you guys, which is... kind of reminds me of reading the Silmarillion. There's a lot of names. The elf's name was Aedoras, and then the dwarf was Belar.
Aedoras and Bella.
And
The elf and
Aedoras is
King.
wounded? He's here?
He is. I dropped him at the healer so his wounds could be tended to.
Rudigar is very disturbed at this. What about the dwarf?
He was taken to be part of their dwarven collection.
Yeah, collection is the word they used.
Sounded very strange.
This is terrible news. And Eros, he's being cared for. He's okay.
He's alive, and I treated him the best I could on the road, but I had to bring him back here.
And Rudiger says, "Where is he being treated here? I will want to
Local
visit him."
healer.
Gilriath, I know where it is. I'll show you. And you're headed where now? This is Gilriath saying to you.
The others were heading towards to protect the northern road into the Shire.
Yeah, that's these two other rangers that are here.
The ones that the elf and the dwarf met on the road. That's where the other ranger and
Oh, yes. Yeah. But so I've confused you, and I'm sorry, Wander. It's all right. Talandil had said he'd sent two of his companions that were with him with Gilriath. And that's these two other rangers who have now come into Bree.
okay.
So they're here. And he had Talandil had asked you if you would take up the quest to ride to Rivendell to inform them of what you have learned.
Right. Okay. So, I was coming to find you to warn you of what I discovered because you were on your way to for your task. But now that I have found you and passed along my information, I must be on to Rivendell to also pass along the information I have gathered.
That is where our path leads to. Rudiger and I.
Well, given all the goings on as of late, it seems best that we all travel together.
All right. Rudiger turns to you, Fulvus. Will you come with us?
Fulvus is hearing all of this, and he's been sort of left in the dark about what's going on. He's just sort of thought that like maybe there were goblins hanging around, and hearing all of this talk about orcs and elves being injured, he just quietly says to himself, "Oh, Fulvus, what have you gotten yourself into?" Well, the farthest I've ever been has been just past Weathertop. I guess Rivendell's just a short hop, maybe 2 hops away. So I've always wanted to hear the song and stories of the elves.
And Myrna, although you can tell there's some fear, I will accompany you. I don't think feel comfortable going back. I suppose I could stay small and hide and get back to the Shire, but I would like to see. And our people. We need as much help as we can get. Go ahead.
I say, dear Mirren, it'd be an honor to travel with you once again. It's been far too long.
And it is evening time now. And You've all been on the road a bit. Will you stay over and leave at first light, or will you head out immediately?
How how about some libations at the Prancing Pony before we head out?
Okay.
What do you say, Rangers?
Given orcs, goblins have the advantage at night, probably best we do wait sometime for first light.
That is wise. All right. So after Rudigar had and Gilraeth had gone to see Aedoras, you guys head out and head east. And coming down out of the Misty Mountains, two dwarves and a human and an elf. You begin to see Belligan, or you will know the way, although, or at least know of it. The rest of you, have you ever been to as far as to Rivendell before?
I have been to Rivendell.
Yeah.
Would
I have not been west of the Misty Mountains. I've traveled in the east a little bit, done some trade routes, things like that. Maybe even to Darwinian and gotten some wine from there, but nothing west of the mountains.
I've traveled to the Blue Mountains,
Ah,
so
you would have.
I feel like it's a common stopping point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct?
Well, it's a safe stopping point, definitely. All right. You begin to. The paths are generic for a while, coming down out of the mountains. And the way to Rivendell is marked with tiny little white stones that, if you don't know to look for them, you wouldn't know that they were there. And you eventually find the path. And it starts to wind down deeper into the valley. Sorry, I'm preparing a scene while I'm talking. And doing two things at once is a little bit difficult, as I've learned. And you come around a bit of the mountain. And a beautiful sight greets you. And you guys are here at the eastern edge of the map. Down here.
Oh, that's a cool map.
It took weeks to make. But I'd started as I gotta finish it. And you're up high where you're at, the three of you. You're on the path and you're looking down and see this.
That is quite a sight for my eyes to see. I say.
A little ostentatious for my life, but yes, it's good craft. I'll give it that. Like a good sturdy dwarf wall.
Mm, yes, it does look well crafted. Shall we make our presence known?
Yes. I don't see your token though with that. But and I'm sure they're already aware of our presence. But we should go to stable our horses and for the night at least.
Elleray, where would you be? The houses of healing are back here. I don't know if you can see my marker. Up in here. If that...
I don't see it yet, no.
No. Unicorn. That's who I'm talking. Yeah, there.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so my bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where the House of Healing are. Now, whether you're there or not, I'd leave it up to you. A few days, of course, have passed since Eladin and Eldor here arrived. Elrond would have warned you, but let you know that he felt travelers were approaching. And indeed, as is the way of elves, they watch the roads and pass to one another in song, the comings and goings, and it eventually gets back to the last homely house here.
I guess as we come down out of the mountains and see this, and I said, my piece, I'll blow my horn to announce our coming. So I blow the horn of Dale.
Oops, that's I was on the wrong tools in the measurement tool. And Lindair, he's the steward of Rivendell. He comes to you, Elleray. Riders approach.
And with them, darkness.
Yes, I fear it. Elrond has asked for you to join us.
Can you tell us his name one more time so I can write it down?
Lindir. Lindir. Now you will also know him. He's the one that keeps Rivendell going, as far as just managing the household, but he's more than that. He's actually also the squire of Elrond. And had went with him into battle. He's another dark soul like yourself. He used to go about and join in with battle and adventure, but when Elrond's wife was murdered by orcs, or injured, sorry, she wasn't killed, she went to the Undying Lands, but he's never left Rivendell since. But he's also, he makes instruments as well, so you would have had your harp perhaps repaired by him. And
we played
Yeah, you have jam sessions, and he's very good. He doesn't perform live so much, or not so much publicly, but he's actually got a very good voice. And he says, "I will see you in the courtyard," and departs.
I would go with him.
Okay.
Or rather, where they plan. I maybe would ask him where they're planning on having the forum, and I would wait there, rather than wait to greet them.
Likely the eastern porch. Well, it's northeastern, but it's here. Oops, hitting the wrong button. You're going too far. It's here.
Gotcha.
That area is up higher, where you were, and looks down.
Oh, okay.
That's where the
cool.
White Council met in the Hobbit films, is up in that area. And you three, up on the path.
Alright, I brought a lantern for you all. I can't see.
Oh, is it dark?
Thank you.
Nice.
Is it completely dark for you?
No, I just brought a lantern.
Oh,
Who's
okay.
lighting our way?
I thought I had the map settings wrong.
I do not see our elf friend though.
Oh,
He's
Hold on,
right-
give me a
he's
second.
just on the edge.
there he is.
There he is.
And
Oh.
I need to get his companions out there now too.
Yeah, last one, Arneo. My dwarf friend.
Yep, I'm working on him too. There he is. All right. Do you guys make your way down, or are you standing to watch a while?
I soaked it in.
Make our way down.
All right.
Being the typical dwarf level of arrogance, I'll say I start making my way down.
I take a
It's
moment.
nice.
I take a moment to take in the scene and smile and look around and smile to myself, and then let's move ahead, boy.
Just let me know if sounds get too loud. I've got ambient sounds depending on where you're at on the map.
I think if you go through water, you hear water stuff.
Yeah. You just don't hear it while your token's in movement. It's not so much. And then this is an archway here.
Oh, it turns off the music once you're in the archway.
Yeah. I wish it would behave better than it does.
And seeing as there's light, I'll wait till we get inside. Well lit here. And have my nice looking faceplate on, all adorned.
Well met, Glenview.
And Elrond approaches you. Maya Govanen, Melon. And You are most welcome here.
I thank you, Lord Alderon. We have much to discuss.
I bow my head and I say I am most honored to meet you, my lord.
And to you as well.
Honor to you, Master El Nath. I do believe we have much to discuss, but
You look
I feel it'd be better in quieter setting and not out in the open.
Yes. And you look tired. Perhaps some food and drink. I fear you bear us ill news. Come, Lindir, take them to the eastern porch, and I will arrange for food to be brought for them and drink. And Lindir bows his head to Elrond. Elrond looks at you guys and says, I will join you. I will join you shortly.
Thank you again, my lord.
Yes, thank you, Lord. Lord.
And Lindir says, your horses will be taken care of. And you see people, elves, come from this way. And they lead the horse down this path. They will be fed, cleaned, and have a peaceful time in our stables.
I say, the elves will take good care of you, boy. And pat his mane for as I get off. Go now.
And he leads you. I'll take you guys to it. So. And you see there's another elf that's waiting there. And Linda departs. I'll return with food and drink. Elleray, these are our guests.
She's very stoic and just slightly nods her head at you as you enter.
Look to her and I go,
Bow my head.
Bane, son of Wayne, at your service and your family.
I'm Harabrand of Dale.
I'm Belegner of Mirkwood. Nice to meet you.
Does Belegno now have a token?
He
Yeah,
is right there, yeah. Can you not see
I
him?
can't see him.
You can't see him?
No. No.
That's odd.
let me move it out of the trees.
No, I couldn't see him since we stepped on the path.
Oh, really? Let me drag him out
Yeah.
again.
Oh,
Let me, I'll delete the token and
Oh.
drag a new one. Maybe there's a glitch. No surprising. How about now?
There he is.
Huh, that's weird. Alright, well, he's there now.
You travel far from Dale, sir. What could possibly bring you to our realm?
Well, the shadow is rising, is it not? And I'm traveling with my dowdy friends here. I nod to the dwarves. They are on a mission, and my lord has sent me to assist.
And what mission be so worthy of causing you to leave your halls, my good dwarves?
Seeking one of our own, our Lord Thor. Have you seen him?
I know not of Thorin. Have you asked Lord Elrond?
That is what I plan to do.
What would you offer in exchange for the risk of the lives of elves in this search?
I ask you not to take the search, merely if you have seen him. I know the road he was supposed to take. That is all.
If that is truly your intention, then we can offer you some respite. Your journey, perhaps.
I thank you. And then I know there's your seats, and there's probably gonna be a table here, but I'll take a seat. Put my heavy axe next to it.
And food is brought out to you and drink. Lots of it.
You'd notice that Elleray is almost even avoiding eye contact with Beleganor. It has not, acknowledged him at all.
You said your name was LRA, correct? You study under Lord Elrond?
And who is speaking? Just to put voices to names.
That was
Beleganor.
Beleganor. Oh, okay, perfect. Yes, a long student of Lord Elrond's. What brings you, fellow elf, so far from your wanderings?
Me and my companions have been hunting spiders in the forest. There have become more rampant and frenzied. We are seeking Lord Elrond's counsel on this matter.
Perhaps if you didn't live in such an undignified manner, you would not have these issues. Your people are always welcome here in Rivendell. Should you wish to migrate from the wicked and wild ways.
The forest of Mirkwood definitely requires a different set of skills and metal that not everyone can handle, but us elves of the Mirkwood Forest, we can handle ourselves pretty well.
She seems almost just uncomfortable around you. She stops speaking, but you can just tell she's awkward and you make uncomfortable. Maybe not know why.
Gotcha. Well, my other companions here are Narniel and I can't think of the other one.
Laskalin, yeah. They bow their head, they tip their hand to you.
And this is Hogak. Awesome.
At your service. And while that's going on, those of you from the Shire approach from the west. And you are way over here. I don't know if you can see it. Lower.
Yeah, the map automatically zoomed over there for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. I didn't know if it would or not because it's not been behaving today, so I wasn't counting on it. So there you go. So you've made your way into this now. Wanderer, you've been here many times, and so you know the way without having to look too carefully. And this area here is a guard tower. It's the western approach. It's not so much a tower, but it's just a guard post on a cliff before the water crashes down into the Bruinen. And you're at the start of a little bridge that winds into it. Fulvis, you're looking upon, as you come around the corner and see this, you're looking upon this site for the first time. And Myrna is just speechless.
Fulvis looks around and says, "So this must be where the elves live. I wonder where they grow their food."
Hungry.
It's been probably a week's worth of travel to get here.
Yeah. And
I shake my head. Hobbits and their food.
Gilraeth, who is used to traveling with a hungry hobbit, turns back and says, "The generosity of the elves is legendary. There will be plenty of food. Let us make our way." And you can only move so many of them. They're flying. Yeah. And say, did you guys come in by foot? I forgot to ask you that when you left Bree. If you,
Well, the Rangers would have. I would have left the elf's horse with him. Wasn't mine to take.
yeah.
Fulvis is on foot too.
All right. So I can move these tokens around so they're not all just in a group. And Elrond is Maya gevonden, Wanderer. It's been a little while.
Pleasure to be in your home once again.
And you are most
Although
welcome.
I wish it was under better circumstances, though.
Indeed. Gilriath, you are back so soon. And Rudigar. How have you fared? Why are you here so soon? And Gilriath gestures to you, Wanderer. It seems Wanderers came across Aedoras and Belar. Well, Aedoras, who had been wounded. And Linder, steps forward when he hears that. He is being taken care of in Bree. Wanderer saved him. Elrond looks to you, Wanderer, and your kindness is always there, Wanderer. Thank you for looking after him. And what of Belar?
He was nowhere to be found. It was said he was taken to be part of the dwarf collective. Or collective?
Collection.
Collection.
This is terrible news.
What?
Who else do we have? There's some faces I have not met. And Elrond
Yes.
comes up to you, Fulvis. You're welcome. Sorry, carry on. It's this server. It just cuts you out. I'm sorry. Go on. You talk.
Hello, Lord Elrond, and Fulvis does a deep bow. My name's Fulvis Brandybook. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
Ah. We are fond of hobbits here. Mariner steps up. Bilbo says hello. Oh, where are my manners? I'm Mary Greenhill, and she bows very low. It's a pleasure. And Elrond, with a smile on his face, so you're friends of Bilbo. We are very fond of him here. And you are all most welcome. But you are not the first to arrive this day. Dwarves and men and elves from Mirkwood have arrived. You look weary from your journey. They are having food and drink on the porch. Linder, why don't you show them there and do relax. And we shall have discussions. I will join you there. And he steps away, and Linder says, "Will you come with me, please?" And he leads you back. I'll drag you out back there. It's quicker. Although there's going to be a lot of tokens on top of everyone.
As
It's
all
okay.
these people just one by one enter, you see Elray's eyes just getting wider and wider.
Getting nice and cozy. Almost a party.
And then you see her get kind of almost excited at Wanderer being seen and waves her over. Goes to stand back by the fire here, kind of away from the crowd.
I like how we're sort of all going to our respective races, sitting.
Me being the loner that rangers usually are, I'm gonna kind of come stand out to the corner and just watch till I'm needed.
The lake
come
and the
over with
river
you.
would just nod and as each of them passed through.
And Elrond comes out. Sorry, Unicorn, were you going to speak to Wanderer? I've interrupted you.
I would just to have like small talk basically and catch up because I haven't seen you in a while. We wait.
All right. After you've eaten for a while and had drank and you've been able to rest, Elrond comes out. I trust you all have gotten a bit of rest.
Aye.
And rested your weary
Yes,
feet.
think. Oh, go ahead.
Now you go ahead.
But it's fine. I'm good.
I have felt your approach as you came to this valley, and I fear you all have dark tidings to bear.
I hope they are not dark
Yes.
tidings.
Look,
I come just for information and hope.
What is it you seek?
We seek our Lord Thorin for news of him. He has not arrived at the mountain.
Yes, several months back he passed west with a small company of dwarves bound for the arid Lewin, I understand.
That was their goal. They were supposed to be back by now.
He has not come past this way.
Well, that either leads the south way, which he would not take, or the gray path, which I would hope he knows is fraught with danger at this time. Or I believe it to be. With the news Belar brought.
Yes, we are aware of people going missing and the increase in the shadow, roving orc, and goblin, and worse.
And apparently bird.
Bird?
We were being watched as we... I don't know, how long has it been since they watched us? Probably a couple days now.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. They watched us as we went through the mountain passes, and then flew north to Gundabad.
Hmm.
Perhaps the whole Beatland have noticed if the dwarves have passed through their land.
Aye. And I turned to look at them. Fairly intense stare from a dwarf to very small hobbits.
And I'm pretty sure this is the first time Herobrand probably has ever seen any hobbits. So.
I look to Myrna and I say, Myrna, perhaps these are the dwarves you were talking about? The ones that visited the Shire a couple weeks back.
No, 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 this isn't them. No. The dwarves you speak of. She describes armor, and you recognize that as the armor of Thorin and the standard. He did pass through the Shire, and a whole company of dwarves. Everyone was talking about it.
And when was this little one?
This was about 6 weeks ago.
I do not know the distances from place to place in this area. Is that very overdue to get here?
Elrond would reply, well, Bane, you would know this too.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say if he hasn't, if he has not reached Rivendell, and then I turn to the Rangers. Did he pass through Bree?
Wanderer, you have not heard of such.
No, I have not heard of them passing through Bree.
And there were many, were there not, Bane? Many dwarfs. A retinue.
There were. He had his.
So
he had
I
his
would
retinue.
imagine that the people in Bree. Is that a town or a region? What is?
It
Bree?
is a town. It is a town, however. It's not as big as Dale, but
I imagine people would notice. So somewhere between the land of the Hobbitland and Bree, perhaps, is where the trail ended. At least that sounds like it to me.
indeed.
Well, I was in Bree around that time, and I didn't hear about these dwarves until Myrna just told me about it today, last week.
Was was Bellar with Thorin,
No.
or was Bellar
Um,
Edelroth?
no. Yeah, Bellar was with Edoras.
Oh,
And it was near Weathertop that, or just before Weathertop, that he apparently was taken.
alright. So if he wasn't seen in Bree, so it's between.
Is it far from this Bree to the land of the little ones?
No, it is.
I make that journey all the time. It's quite leisurely.
As long as you stay clear of the forest. But if he did take the north road, because I don't know quite where on this map the northern path is to past the gray mountains.
So no one here has heard tell of this, of Thorin or his group. Is that what I am to understand?
Other than when he passed through our woods, that's the only thing I can say.
But not on the return trip. except that
Well,
he
he would
went
not deviate. He would not
the-
deviate from his path lightly.
except that he went through the land of these hobbits. Hobbits, it is. You say? We say Hobbiton, but I will call you hobbits from now on, if that is all right.
Yeah, that whatever works for you. Um,
Thorn would not deviate from his path lightly. He
this
would
was
only
like
be
oh, sorry.
No, I'm just kind of theorizing out loud with Bane. He's kind of saying this. He was either forced to change, or saw something that was worthy of changing his path.
Did I hear that someone was injured? Someone you know? I look at I guess the elves at Elrond.
Well, in the Shire there was an attack from goblins, but I can't imagine that would have been much of a challenge to a band of dwarves.
No, but there's enmity there, and I would have no doubt if they were within striking distance, Thorn would go deal with them. That is a good question. Where is Thardbottle on this map?
With-
Where is what on the map? Sorry.
Oh, it's north. There it is. Hardbottle.
Yeah.
And it does border the Longlands. That would make sense.
Could Fulvis on the journey out of the Shire maybe have noticed something in the road? I imagine like a band of dwarves walking would have left some tracks that maybe Fulvis happened to see.
Not that you had noticed, but then again, you wouldn't know to be looking for them.
But again, did was not an elf injured, or did I hear some? Did I hear this?
Indeed, I came across a dwarf that was not a dwarf, sorry, an elf injured. He was attacked and his dwarven companion taken.
His dwarven companion was taken. Taken where? Do we know?
Versus.
He was taken to be part of the collection.
I look at Bane. How many dwarves had they around?
Collection of who?
It was just the elf only said the dwarven collection or dwarf collection. So it
Yes.
sounds like they're collecting dwarves. For what? I do not know.
I think they said his name. Wasn't it Rack?
Radghoul.
Could have something to do with Thorn, it sounds like.
I doubt they're taking them for their jolly nature.
No, I'm sure they take them to Gundabad to torture. They sit in our halls, ruin our lineage, and I kind of refrain the urge from spitting in an elven place. And
Calm yourself,
but
my
if you,
friend.
but if this is Edelras, then that was Belar. Son of
And
Geralt.
where was this? Where did you find them?
A few days outside of Bree on the east-west road.
That may be where the trail is warmest.
Well, for those two, yes.
Well,
But
but
well, Thorn was not even seen at Bree,
no.
which means he was deterred beforehand. And if he heard of goblins in the Lone Lands,
But
or they
if,
attacked him.
but if he's part of the collection, the last collected dwarf was this Belor. I think. It sounds like it to me.
I think he's
Um,
just collecting a dwarf. Orcs are known to be.
Whatever the person is,
I also
whatever the person
received-
is, they sound like they just want dwarf kind.
With a name
I was
like that.
also
Right.
I was also informed by a fellow ranger that there has been increased bandit activity in the North Downs. He was heading that way back to Fornost to keep an eye and investigate that.
I look over to Myrna and I say, Myrna, do you remember why those dwarves came 6 weeks ago? Did they ever go north?
No, I remember when they came west, which was months ago, and when I saw them, it was like, oh yeah, I remembered then. But they didn't seem urgent. They were quite jovial, actually. Although one of the dwarves from the Arid Luin, I believe, he's quite grim-faced. But Auric, I think his name was. They said he was the Baron's son from the halls of the dwarves in the Arid Luin. But I must say, it isn't just dwarven kind that whatever this Radcool is looking for, because several hobbits were taken just over a week ago. That's why we've come east. We do not have an army.
It seems the danger is growing north of the Shire. I fear that maybe your dwarves were caught up in it, and I now ask all of you to come and protect my lands.
Turn to Elrond. This is what the messengers were for, was it not?
Indeed. Was to warn people. But it seems the situation is worse than with these new developments. Mere warning is we are past that now, aren't we?
Indeed. Time for action. And I kind of just put my hand on my axe.
Elrond looks to you all. My friends, both old and new, you have presented much here this day. Some dreadful news. Seems there are a few pieces in action here. And you tell me that the shadow is moving in your lands as well. We too here have had the same. Elleray here has been treating elves who have been injured, patrolling the borders of our lands here, and they edge ever closer. What then shall we propose to do about this?
Elleray jumps in kind of out of nowhere and says, "What they propose, Lord Elrond, is that more elven blood be spilled. They would have us be their army and defend their lands for them. Oh, it was once this way in the past, but we're all doomed no matter how it goes. The shadow is overwhelming. Why risk ourselves further than we have to?
And if
I ask not for defense, Bane will say. If you are scared to go out and confront this darkness, I will be the light with it shining off the axe.
I raise my hand kind of to Bane, like, calm for a minute. My lady, I do not ask for your help, but I will help you. An elf was hurt. Dwarves were taken. Hobbits were taken. I have not heard of men taken yet, but this man will fight and will find them. And though the shadow is rising, the day will come again.
Yes, it is. It is up to all of us in this land to quell the shadow just a little bit, even if it is for nothing. Why sit idly by while it takes over when you can do something to temper it?
And it is my task to take care of all those in need, no matter who they are.
I bow my head at her at the ranger.
It was not long ago that dwarves and elves came together to fight for a greater cause. I think we can come together once more.
Bane nods. A little calmer now. I remember that day.
What then, my lord Elrond, would you have us do?
I would have you follow your heart. We may ignore these tidings, but they will come and find us if we do not do anything. Elray, I understand your concerns. But we have before us not beggars, but fighters. Should we ignore while they go? There is one amongst elvenkind who is willing to go. Would you join them? Your skills as a healer.
She just looks like shocked and stunned, and her jaw drops a little. What? Absolutely not. I haven't left Rivendell in 3,000 years, and you ask me now to join these in a cause I don't even believe in? I have wounded here to treat.
And how many more wounded will we have when the shadow comes marching into our lands?
Not to mention the ones we will undoubtedly find on our journey. Would you leave them to death and peril?
And my healing skills are only so limited. I could use all the help in that area that I can get.
My lady, if you leave Rivendell, you may find that it is not the only place where there is goodness.
Indeed, my friend. There is goodness to be found everywhere.
face the shadow head on is fruitless. My lord Elrond, I ask you not to ask this of me, but I shall obey your command, as I have sworn to do.
It is a tough road ahead of you, Elleray. I will not shy away from that. But I fear the alternative is worse. I have a deeper concern of you. Speaking of spies, crows. Mere orcs do not send crows as spies. I fear there is something greater behind this. And so, Elleray, I would ask of you, for the sake of your people here, to find out what this is so that we can better defend ourselves here.
He just bows, doesn't say anything.
Let us sleep upon it. Take rest amongst you. Rooms will be provided for you. You've traveled long.
Thank you, my lord. Your hospitality is legendary.
As is your counsel.
Yes, thank you, Lord Elrond. We appreciate your hospitality.
Okay, we should probably stop there for now, guys. So we've gone just beyond our time.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Well met, everyone.
Good to meet you.
Yes.
Very
Well,
cinematic.
And our mostly like-minded fellowship.
If I can remember all the names.
There's some
cover
good
over
in the world, and it's worth fighting for. Okay.
Yes.
That was a good line, actually.
What was